For a lot of us, our idea of dentist didn't come from real life. It came from movies. The sadist, the guy who clearly enjoys inflicting pain. If you were around in the late 20th century, this guy probably did more to shape your view of dentistry than any real-world dentist ever did. And honestly, a lot of real-world dental experiences didn't exactly set the record straight. So it shouldn't be surprising that a lot of people still approach the dentist like it's something to survive, rather than something that actually helps them. What we experienced here couldn't have been more different. This experience was calm, dare I say, enjoyable. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll walk you through the experience from the beginning, and then we'll wrap things up with the final out-of-pocket cost.
What are we doing today?
Well, right now, we're going to the radiology lab to get dental x-rays because I'm going to the dentist for the first time in over 20
decades.
It's been at least 20 years, pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So, not expecting the greatest news. I think there's going to be a lot of work to be done.
But why are we waiting until we come to Albania to go to the dentist?
Because we don't have to take out a mortgage in order to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. Is this it?
Medical integrity. Perfect.
And put on the apron forward.
All right.
You have glasses. From here. Put your hands here.
Here?
Close your legs. One step forward. With your front teeth, like this, you should bite here to the little canal on the top.
Right here?
See here. Now for 20 seconds, don't move, okay? Till I speak to the phone. The machine will turn around your head, you don't move, okay? 20 seconds. Do you want to stay here or?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, it's finished, you can come out.
All
I
good?
don't know if you remember getting x-rays back in the 80s, but it was not like that.
Glasses are over there. Was this
You
better?
could put these cardboard things in your teeth that you had to bite down on, and then they would put the machine right against your face.
Ew.
It took like a half an hour. That was 20 seconds.
All right. Oops. Okay, so what are we doing now?
I'm gonna see if the barber's open.
Because we got about 25 minutes.
minutes because they have to wait for the heater to print. So the heater to print up, the printer to heat up
Yeah.
to be able to print the x-rays.
All right.
So
Let's go see if the.
that was a big 20-second that drag out of the day.
All right.
Back in September, we posted a video about everyday life in Shkodër where I went and got a haircut and picked up a kebab sandwich. And that barbershop is quite close to the radiology lab, so we decided, what the hey, go see the barber again, get me a haircut. So that's what we did. I look different?
Transformation.
Do I look different?
Yes, you do. Now we're on our
My
way.
head feels lighter.
All right, so just got the hair done. Now we're gonna go back to go pick up our X-rays.
Our X-rays?
Yeah, our X-rays. Because we just got a haircut,
Right.
and we're going to the dentist.
Well, we aren't going together. That's
Yes.
unslippery.
Okay.
Yes.
1,500 Albanian back.
Okay. Take our credit card, okay?
How much was that?
1,500 black.
So that translates to about $15, just under $20 American.
Albania is a very popular destination for dental tourism, and people especially love Shkodër. There are easily dozens of clinics here. As with bakeries, barbershops, and bar cafes, dental clinics seem to be on every block. Sometimes there are several just in one building. So, as you can imagine, finding the right one can be tricky. As with so many things, Wendy located our dentist through word-of-mouth referral. We talk a lot about the walkability of Shkodër. This day is a perfect example. Let's go to the map for a second, and I'll show you what I mean. While I'm not going to show you exactly where our apartment is, suffice it to say that the radiology lab is maybe a 10-minute walk. And my barber is, I don't know, a minute from there. And from the barber to the dentist is about another 5 minutes back in the direction of home. If you're in town and need any help finding the place, it couldn't be much easier. It's called Unhurried, and it's on the busiest road in Shkodër, Boulevardi Skenderbouw. Just look for the iconic, unmistakable Millennium Cinema, and you'll find the clinic in the building that's tucked back and to the left.
Say that again. Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
What do you got there?
Got my x-rays. My appointment was at 10 a.m. and we got there right on time. As an American, I was prepared to have a seat in the waiting room with a clipboard full of forms and possibly be taken back by 10:15 if we were lucky. Imagine my surprise when the dentist herself was at the desk, gowned up and ready to go the moment we walked in the door. Her name is Dr. Inisa Faya, and she grew up right here in Shkodër. Like many Albanian dentists, she completed her education and early clinical work in Tirana, and then came back to Shkodër to open her own clinic. I already knew that I had at least one significant cavity. That tooth has felt basically like a canyon for a couple of years now. I've also been very self-conscious of whatever was going on here at the front, where it looked like I had something permanently stuck between my teeth. She explained that for that one, she'd figure that out during the cleaning, but for now we'd start with the main project, that molar. I was a carpenter in residential construction for over 20 years, and the whole process here reminded me a lot of repairing rotted trim molding. You remove only what's damaged, prep the surface so that the repair bonds properly, build back up in layers, and then shape and sand until the repair disappears. Of course, I never tried to do all of that inside someone's mouth while working in a tiny little mirror. Dentists describe cavities in grades, which just tells you how deep the decay goes. A grade 1 filling is small, usually just on the surface of the tooth. A grade 2, which is what I needed, means the decay has reached the side of the tooth. So it's more involved, but still very manageable. Grade 3 goes deeper and usually requires much more aggressive work. All three are about the same basic idea, but the deeper you go, the more time, care, and precision it takes. Getting the bite to line up properly, the way the upper and lower teeth fit together, and shaping the filling to look like a real tooth, those parts are as much art as they are science. It takes great attention to detail, skill, and talent, which is why I'm so thankful that Wendy found Dr. Faya. I like her not just as a dentist, but as a person. She's warm, approachable, easy to talk to. She communicates clearly, answers questions patiently, and is good at explaining the big picture without getting lost in minutia. At the end of the day, though, what matters most in a healthcare provider is expertise, professionalism, and competence. And Dr. Faya has all three.
Tell me what happened. A little bit of a
I
story.
had a big cavity back here. That was most of the tooth was, it felt like most of the tooth was gone. And now it looks like a tooth again.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like it looked better than the other one.
Okay.
But then the one in front of that, which had been filled before, many years ago, there's like a cavity between, like on the back of that tooth, near where the other one was just fixed. So next time she's going to do
Next
that.
time. Okay.
But now she's doing the cleaning.
She's going to clean all your teeth.
Yeah, as far as this thing at the front.
She's going to look at
While
it.
she's doing the cleaning, she's gonna
Okay.
see what's going on.
Okay. So then next time we'll have the next things to do. Okay.
A small cavity.
Okay.
By the end of day 1, the molar was fixed and my teeth had been thoroughly cleaned. Dr. Faya had also identified some decay in another molar, and the issues with that tooth and the one at the front turned out they were due to old fillings that needed to be redone properly. It's been a long time since I last sat in a dentist chair, but I'm confident there are still plenty of people who dread going. Dentistry has a reputation for being something to endure rather than experience. In my own case, especially during the first 20 plus years of my life, it often felt more about billable procedures than care. Dr. Faya changed that for me. If I were naming the clinic, I might be tempted to call it Gentle Dentistry.
Yeah, no, it was very gentle.
Gentle dentistry.
Because that's what stands out most to me about her approach. That first day was a Friday. We returned the following Monday and she repaired the front tooth. We went back Tuesday. That was the final visit for the third filling. Each session took about an hour. The first 2 fillings were done using local anesthesia, so there was no pain at all. The only drawback there was that even though I had permission to eat or drink immediately after the procedure, I couldn't trust my mouth to do so properly until the numbness was gone. So on day 3, I opted to give it a go with no anesthetic. I could have stopped her at any time if I needed to, so I wasn't worried. And I'm glad I chose to do it that way, as I was able to eat and drink right away without drooling like an infant. Even with the anesthetic, she gave me multiple opportunities to sit up, rinse my mouth, and relax for a minute before she moved on to the next stage. By the time everything was done, what stayed with me was how ordinary the whole experience felt. Nothing was rushed or improvised. It's just normal healthcare. So why is dental care so much more affordable here? Big part of it has to do with education and economics. In the US, becoming a dentist typically takes 8 years, 4 years of undergrad and then 4 years of dental school. In Albania, the degree takes 6 years with no undergraduate degree. So it's still a long professional program. In the US, tuition can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So dentists tend to graduate with huge amounts of debt to pay. In Albania, tuition is much lower. It's often just a couple €1,000 a year. So it's possible to graduate with little or no debt. Local salaries for dentists and staff are lowered, but so are operating costs. These are just some of the reasons why you can get the same modern materials and techniques here for a fraction of the price. A lot of US dentistry is practiced defensively because insurance and litigation concerns leave very little room for error. Add to that the rise of large corporate dental chains focused on production quotas and short appointment times, and the pressure compounds. Here, the dentist is free to run their practice how they see fit. So, let's talk about what it actually cost. The panoramic x-rays, where the machine rotates around your head, those have become the standard in the US too. Uninsured, out-of-pocket prices back home are usually around $100 to $250. Here, we paid 1,500 lek, which is just over $18. 3 grade 2 composite fillings were each 3,500 lek. That translates to 42.56, which will round up to 43 to keep things simple. That's a total of 10,500 lek, or just under $128. Back home, those same fillings cost anywhere from $150 to $450 per tooth. The professional cleaning costs another 3,500 lek, so tack on another 43 bucks. In the States, that'd run you anywhere from $100 to $250. Just for fun, let's add in the haircut. Back home, I was paying $40 for the cut, plus a basically mandatory tip of at least $10. In my barbershop here, including tip, I paid less than $9. All in, the total came to just under $198 for services that would have run around $1,300 back home. And that's using the median price for each service, so it could be considerably more. Hey, I'm in the middle of the edit, and I just had to break in with an update. Earlier this week, I asked my mom to see what she could find out about specific prices for the same services back in Santa Cruz. And I just got a WhatsApp message from her that I just have to share. Worth mentioning that both the radiology lab and the dental clinic here had price lists sitting on full display at reception. So here's the message from my mom. I called my dentist and a few others at random. Except for my dentist, whose desk person knows me, every person I talked to was annoyed to be bothered with a question. One even said, "I don't have time for this," and hung up. Ballpark dental costs in the Santa Cruz area. Full cleaning, $170 or more. Depending on issues discovered in an exam, a cleaning cost could reach the thousands. Basic annual exam plus 4 bite wing x-rays, $350. Grade 2 filling, $500. Did you catch that bit where the cleaning happens after the exam? The exam during which they might discover some issues that would raise the cost of the cleaning, possibly into the thousands? And that the basic annual exam with 4 of those bite wing x-rays costs $350 on its own? So let's do a quick recalculation using these numbers specific to where we're from. 3 grade 2 fillings are now $1,500 on their own. The exam with the bite wing x-rays, that's $350. And let's just pretend that the exam didn't uncover any special problems, so the cleaning's just a measly $170. So in our hometown, the same service I got here would be in the ballpark of $2,020. And people wonder why I didn't go to the dentist more often. What surprised me, though, wasn't the difference in price. It was how proportional and reasonable it felt. For the first time in a long time, dental care felt like a necessary errand rather than a financial shockwave. And what that's really about is access. When basic healthcare doesn't require these huge trade-offs, it can become just part of everyday life. If you're curious how we've navigated our move to Albania or what life here actually looks like day to day, we're documenting all of it here on the channel. Have a look around. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. And if you're thinking about making a move of your own, we've put everything we learned into our course, Pack Up and Bounce. Link is in the description. It's there for when you're ready. For now, thanks as always for watching. See you in the next one.
Because the stress level here is so much lower. And, you know, Albanians teach you to
Calm down.
learning to sit and actually enjoy a conversation.
Yeah.
Have a cup of coffee.
We
and-
start the day in cafe.
Yes.
Yeah, but
So
it's
we don't start the day at work.
right.